Hey YouTube, it's me, Theo, with another video. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm on holiday at the moment. If you follow my channel, or if you follow me, you know that I've been raving on about finishing my master's in computer science. I'm finally done, and I'm in America, in Atlanta at the moment. I'm kind of traveling around. I was in Maryland a week ago, and I'm just seeing family and just enjoying myself. I wasn't really planning on making a video, but something is happening, and I feel like I need to give my opinion on it, if anyone cares, and my thoughts on it, which I think is valid. Okay, so you can probably tell from the title of the video, it's about Bitcoin and Bitcoin Gold, specifically Bitcoin Gold. Bitcoin is forking 2 more times this year. By the way, if you know, my channel is not really about cryptocurrencies, but it's about entrepreneurial stuff, and I will be going into cryptocurrencies and stuff like that more as I learn more. As a software developer myself, or computer scientist, I am into new technologies, and I love the blockchain technology and what it could bring to the future. Anyway, so the 2 forks that are happening, one is the 2x, which is the Segwit 2x or something, blah blah. That's a separate video and a separate thing. I don't even think I'll make a video on that, but that's something else. The next fork that's going to happen, or the one that's even going to happen before the 2x one, is the Bitcoin Gold. And I want people to understand something about it that I think is not a good thing necessarily. Okay, so Bitcoin Gold itself, the main upgrade of Bitcoin Gold is a good thing, and it should be part of Bitcoin, because we don't, even though Bitcoin may not be a perfect system, right? As seen by many people, as you know, all these different forks that are happening, you can tell that people think, oh no, this could be done better, that could be done better. But the idea is it should happen in the main Bitcoin branch, or the master branch of Bitcoin. But for that to happen, a lot of people need to agree. That's the whole point of Bitcoin, is that the majority need to agree on something, and then the change will happen. Now, this Bitcoin Gold, or whatever they're going to end up calling it, but Bitcoin Gold, I think is the name, is going to, it's kind of a minority decision. And then since they have a minority decision, it's like, okay, we're just going to fork, which means we're just going to break away from the main tree. So now it's like this, they're like, boom, which is going to be Bitcoin Gold, and Bitcoin is going to continue, which is supported by the majority still. So the good thing about Bitcoin Gold is the fact that it's going to use the equihash, can't even say it, equihash, I could say it a minute ago, equihash proof of work. Right now what happens with Bitcoin is miners have to do something, right? They have to do something to show their proof of work that they did this, and then they'll be rewarded with, and then they can add it to the blockchain, and they can be rewarded with Bitcoin for the work that they do, which is process the transactions. Oh, by the way, if you're super into Bitcoin and you know a lot about blockchain and stuff like that, it's going to be a super oversimplified explanation, because I like to keep things simple and understandable so most people can just get it, because that's how it should work. Anyway, so that's what happens with miners. That's who we call Bitcoin miners. They basically act as the people who process the transaction, and they just get a little bit of a fee on top of that. And to do that, they have a proof of work. And currently, what happens is the systems, the machines that have been built to do this are built on ASICs. ASICs stands for I think application. Let me not butcher this, so I'm just gonna double check, because it's not like a common term that everyone uses. But ASICs, Jesus, I had it here a second ago. What did I do? There we go. ASIC stands for Application Specific Integrated Circuits. Now, what it is basically, in the world of CPUs, I'm just going to give you a quick oversimplified explanation of what's going on. ASICs, okay, in the world of CPUs, right, central processing units, like that's in your computer. That's basically the brain or whatever you want to call it. Basically runs all these different processes that you like running a web browser, blah 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 blah. And then we have two types. We have the normal consumer CPU, which is the one that has like multi-core and different cores. So basically things can happen at the same time. Like you could be running your web browser on this core, you can be playing your music on this core, and then you can, whatever. I'm getting too complicated. I don't really want. But basically that's what happens in the normal consumer CPUs, the ones that are in everyday laptops and stuff like that. And then there's a second kind, which is the ASICs. Now what that is basically a really good CPU that does only one thing. It's built to just do one thing. So you have a CPU, imagine having a CPU that's just designed to just run email. That's it. It can't do anything else except for just run email, and it'll do it really good. Okay. So that's how miners have been operating this whole time. They've been using ASICs CPUs because, what's the point? What's the point of having a CPU that can do loads of different things just to mine? You can just buy a specific CPU that does transactions really well and just does that fast. And the faster you do it, the more money you get. The problem with that is, of course, everyone has this ability, but ASICs or those type of let's call them one core or specialized CPU. The problem with those is it's not common. I think it's hard to build or very expensive to buy. So I as an average consumer, probably just can't go to the store, Microsoft or Apple or whatever, and just go, I want to buy a specific thing. You probably have to program it and do all these different things to it to make it work, right? That's the whole point. It's specialized. So what these miners do is they get loads of them and then they mine. But that kind of defeats the purpose of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is supposed to be decentralized. It's supposed to be that everyone is supposed to be able to take part and mine and make a little bit of money and blah 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 and help Bitcoin grow and become bigger and bigger and bigger. So EcoHash, what it does is it's a special type of hashing algorithm that requires multiple or multi-core CPUs, the normal CPUs that we use, instead of just the one specialized CPU. And if you run the EcoHash on the specified CPU, it'll just be super inefficient, it'll be slow, there's no point. So if you run it on the CPU, which is common to everybody, essentially the idea is I'll be able to run, or I can be able to mine Bitcoin on my laptop because it has a CPU. Or you can buy a small device specifically, on the market just to hash, just to mine Bitcoin, which makes it better. Everyone can do it, makes it more decentralized, which is great. The bad part about, now obviously the people who already mine and who already have enough money can just buy loads of CPUs, but the good thing is now consumers or people who are not too technical can still do something about it. I'm sure there'll be services and new companies that come out or whatever. I'll probably find out and make a video on how to mine if this goes well, or if this gets upgraded into the main Bitcoin. But the bad part about this, which I think is essentially a scam, is basically of this pre-mining incentives that developers are giving themselves. So essentially, for the pre-mining it's like a mine before. It's like the people who developed this new EcoHash or Bitcoin Gold are basically rewarding themselves for doing it. So essentially they're saying, hey, here's Bitcoin, we're gonna fork, which means your Bitcoin is basically going to be two. You're gonna have, so if you have one Bitcoin, when it forks into Bitcoin Gold, you have one Bitcoin and still have one Bitcoin Gold because it forked from the same bank, pool, if that makes sense. I'm trying to not make this complicated and keeping it simple. And what they're doing is, so if that's the case, then that's fine because it's a hard fork, and that means that everyone has, or everyone who already had a Bitcoin has a Bitcoin and a Bitcoin Gold, which is fine. I think that's fair, and it's good because it's basically free money for everybody. The only problem is that they're essentially doing that, and then they're giving themselves like 16. I think they've said 16,000 Bitcoin golds to be shared amongst all the different developers of Bitcoin Gold, which I think seems to be like one developer or something like that, one or two, not that many. So essentially, they're giving themselves, they're creating a new money, and then giving themselves a portion of that money just as a reward. And it's like, no, if you really want to, which kind of makes it scammy. It's like, I'm gonna create my own Bitcoin, and I'm gonna give myself a few more Bitcoins. I'm gonna tell everybody that because I developed it, I deserve, a percentage of it, and then everyone else can just carry on. And then if the value of Bitcoin Gold grows, that means that my value, the one that I created, grows as well. And it's like, dude, that's kind of scammy, and it makes me not want to support something like this. Now, the idea of the equal-hash is out there. What it needs to be done, in my opinion, is to be incorporated or upgraded into, incorporated into Bitcoin itself, so that everyone can take part. And then not just reward yourself with extra money just because you helped develop it. Like, that's a bit scammy. You know what I mean? It's like me just saying, hey guys, I have $1. I'm gonna create a new currency called Dollar Gold, and I'm just gonna give myself, I don't know, $1 billion, $1 billion golds. So everyone who uses Dollar Gold and eventually gets it, let's say, on par to the dollar, I have $1 billion gold. Why? Because I decided to split it. I was like, no, you can't do that. So that's the bad part about this. I don't really want to make this video long. So if you like this video and it explains everything, please like the video, share it, comment below of what you think. Comment below if you're interested in Bitcoin, if you want me to do any more blockchain and Bitcoin videos and stuff like that. Subscribe as well, please, as it will help my channel grow, and I will be incentivized to make more videos. But I'm not creating my own currency and then giving myself a big portion of the currency to as an incentive for me to do it. You know, scammy, right? Scammy. Imagine, like, if it becomes on par, if it gets to the same par as Bitcoin, this guy has like a freaking billion. Oh, never mind. I'm not even gonna go there. Making this video long. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you. Hope you got something out of this video, some value. Alright, thanks. Bye.